Thank you very much. Most unexpected. Thank you. Cheers. Nice one. Love it. Yeah, I'm Paul Cox. I'm a parent too. 3 parents in a row. He puts us all on first so we can carry on drinking our life choices away. Hashtag sex has consequences only if you do it once. If only you do it once. That would have been better punchline. Let's go. I'm a parent to a beautiful 7-year-old girl, and because I am, the nativity is still part of my world. And what I've learned is that primary school teachers are starting to rewrite the nativity. I know this because last year, my daughter played Jesus' Nan. Jesus' Nan. It was unclear which one. It could be one of 3. I haven't read the book all the way through. She only had one line. I never did like the bloody Romans. Bit of casual racism for the parents. Now, my daughter's growing up on a lovely middle-class street, but I grew up on a council estate. Thank you. For the rest of you, it's kind of like quarantine for poor people. But I loved growing up on a council estate. I absolutely loved it. I really did. I loved it because there was twice as many kids to play with and only half as many parents to look out for us. It is, honestly, it can be very difficult to try and, describe the class structure. And what I've learned is that the differences between working and middle class is cheese. It's cheese. The middle classes love their cheese. Cheese, 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 cheese. If you can milk it, they'll cheese it. Now, working class, only 2 cheese. String and squeezy. But like I say, it's difficult to try and describe the class system if you're not a native from the UK. Essentially, the class system was invented as a substitution for racism in a country where everybody looks the same. It was all right, wasn't it? Give you some idea of the specific area I grew up in. My mate Steve, his auntie was 2 years below us at school. That's not his sister. That is his auntie. Now, I don't know if any of you have been stood in the playground at 8 years old and someone's come running up to you and said, Steve! Steve! Your auntie's taking a piss in the sandpit! That's where I grew up. I'm on a diet. Oh, thank you. I've lost a stone. Don't cheer that. Do I look like I lost a stone? No, I have lost a stone. And it started when I had a gig. I had a gig on Valentine's Day, and like most comics, I didn't have a date. I had a gig. And whilst I was on, there was a lady in the second row who just kept singing Simply Red songs at me. I don't know why either. And I had a choice at this point. I could either get her involved or ignore her. And trust me, this lady was not to be ignored. So I leant in to pass her the microphone, and in doing so, I ripped my hamstring. Have you any idea how fat and unfit you've got to be to rip your hamstring doing stand-up comedy? So I'm on a diet. I travel hundreds, if not thousands of miles a week on the train, largely on the train, so I said that bit already, didn't I? This is new. Because I do, I've learnt a lot about the rail network, and the problem with public transport is the public use it. Now, I was on train recently and I spilt my drink onto the seat next to me, all over it, okay? So I put my bag down to prevent anyone else sitting there, and before I knew it, along comes Captain Commutabout, bounding along in his slip-on Italian loafers, and he just says to me, has this bag got a ticket, mate? And slings it up onto the luggage rack, which I can only assume was his idea of foreplay. So he sits down, bounces back up with a soggy arse. So I casually acknowledged him and said, no, mate. Now, the bag didn't have a ticket, but it was scared of travelling alone, and that's why it pissed itself. I'll leave you there. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you very much.